Hi guys, welcome to Code Patcher, and today I will discuss indexes through Laravel migrations. Okay, in my last video, I had discussed several other operations you can do using the Laravel migration tool. And if you hadn't checked out that, then you can also see that. Okay, so in this video, I will focus only indexes. So let's begin with the sub example. So indexes are the essential part in any MySQL table. Okay, and the there are several type of indexes available, like a primary index, unique index, or plain index. Okay, and we will see in a minute how we can create indexes using the Laravel migration tool. So I'm using the Laravel 2 database. It names is Laravel 2, and it has several tables. So one of the table is books, and we will do the operation on this table only. So if you describe this table, it has several fields like ID, title, status, and created and updated at. Okay, and it has the primary key ID here. So let's begin with the first operation to change the primary key of this table. So we will change the primary key of this table from ID to composite primary key, title, and status. So let's try it out with the Laravel migration. So as we have already seen, there is command php artisan make migration to create the migration. Okay, and the migration name to alter primary key, and in books table. Okay, in books, and let's pass the table name also. Okay, so before move that, I want to make a point. Actually, I was forgot in my last video. So if you are writing migration to change the table structure, adding adding column, deleting column, or changing the attribute of the column, then you will have to add this extension, the composer. Okay, you need this package doctrine dbal. Without this, you would not able to do the DML queries. Means you are not able to do uh, manipulation, changing the column name, or changing the attribute of the column, or dropping column, like this query. Whatever queries means DML query means changing the structure of the schema, existing schema. So you'll have to run this command before writing the queries, before writing the DML queries. Okay. So I've already done this. It will take the several minutes. Then you will be okay after that. So it has created the migration file, this one. So let's open, and as we have seen earlier, the last video, that it has up and down template, and under this function up and down, there is a schema facade and the table function. In that, I have passed the table name, so it has taken from there the books. Okay, so in this up uh, we will write our operation. So if we see the id, the primary key is the big integer, unsigned big integer. Okay, so let's and it is the primary key. Okay, and it is also the auto incremented. So before if you want to drop any index in this through the Laravel migration tool, so there is a command drop. Okay, and drop primary to drop the primary key. Okay, and our primary key name is the id. Okay, if we have a different name, then you should mention here, but in my case, if you show create table, to the show create table, okay, so primary key name is id. So you have to pass the id name of the primary key here. Okay, so it will actually throw an error. It is not straightforward. There is a catch. Before uh, dropping the primary key id, you will have to also drop its auto increment. Okay, because it assumes that there should be only one column with the auto increment feature, auto increment attribute, and that should be a primary key. And we are going to drop the primary key, so that's why we need to also drop that attribute on that column. So we have a big integer, unsigned being integer id. You can check out the data type here in show create table, big integer, unsigned, not null, auto increment. Okay, and then there is a function auto increment, and you need to pass the false in it, and it's a existing column. Okay, so you need to run also the change, otherwise it will take as a new column and throw an error. Okay, so after dropping the auto increment here, and then drop the primary key here, and let's create a new primary key, composite primary key. So let's say primary. Okay, and in this you can pass any column, like let's say title. Okay, if you have a more than one column, then you need to pass an array like this. So I will choose the status, the other column. Okay, and in the second parameter you can pass your primary key name. Okay, so let's keep it as simple. Okay, and copy it, and in the down we will do the reverse of it. So we will drop the primary key this. Okay, and let's move it to top. Okay, and then make the primary key id like this. Okay, so hope it works, it will work. Then php artisan migrate, let's say. So it migrated, it has been migrated. So let's check it out in the left pane. So if you describe books, okay, the two the we have a composite primary key, title and stress. No. Okay. And now if we roll back, and now if we check here, okay, again we have made our id field as a primary key. Okay, so you can create the primary key using the primary function and drop the primary key using the drop primary. Okay, so the other key, let's take a unique key. So let's change it now, and let's make the our title field as a unique key. Okay, so you can choose a table and then pass the title. Okay, and the second parameter can be a unique key name. Okay, if we don't provide the your unique key name, Laravel created the key name for you using the table name, okay, and column name, and then appended the type of the key. So in this case, it will create the books underscore title underscore unique. Okay, so let's keep it simple, and so dropping the to drop the unique key, we have a drop unique key. Okay, and in that you need to pass the key of your unique key name. Okay, if you don't know your unique key name, then simply pass the field name which has a unique key index. Okay, and pass the field name in an array. Okay, like this. So let's migrate it first. So here php artisan migrate. Okay, and in this pan, show create table, and if you see here, okay, we have a new key, unique key, that is a title, and it has a name books, the table name, the title, the column name, and then unique. Okay, so you can give the custom name. So if you give the custom name, in that case, when you are going to drop that, then just pass the you can pass the custom name also. Okay, you don't need to pass the column name. So let's try it as well. So migrate, roll back, it will remove your unique key, and in this and at this time, let's give some custom name, custom unique key. If you want more than one column, want to make the more than one column the unique key, then title and pass the other column as well. Okay, so this time it will create the composite unique key on title and status with the name custom unique key. Okay, and in the drop unique, let's pass this time, let's pass our key name because we know it. Okay, so let's migrate now, and if we check here, show create table, we have a new unique key, composite unique key with the title and status, and has a name custom unique key. And if we roll back it will roll back, means it has dropped your key, unique key, with this custom unique key name. So if we check, then it has gone. Okay, so you can operate with the unique key in this way. You can also create the plain index. Okay. So just a function name change, and you can pass the multiple column here on which you want to create the index, like this custom index key. Okay, this time, and let's pass. Yeah. If you don't know name, I again repeat again, if you don't know name your key which you want to drop, which you are going to drop, then simply pass an array with a column on which you have a index. Okay, like just copy this column and just pass it here. Okay, and it has a pattern to creating the key name. If you don't pass the second parameter when creating an index, then it will take the table name and the first column, second column, and whatever you are passing in that column, and in the last it will append the type of the key. So in this case it will create a custom key with the custom index key name. Okay, so let's check it out, and in the left pan let's migrate, and if we check it out in the right pan, we have a new index key, custom index key. Okay, so in this way we can do the operation on primary key, unique key, and plain index key. So the last one I want to discuss, the foreign key. So most of the time in the RDBMS we need a foreign key relationship. Okay, so right now if I show you tables, I have books tables which we are operating currently, and we have also the users table. Okay, so users tables has a several field with the ID. So let's create a relationship between users and books. So in this relationship we will have a user ID in books table. Okay, currently if we describe our books table, we have five fields: ID, title, status, created, and updated. Okay, so let's roll back it, and we have an error here. I think. Okay, so if you have given the custom name, then you must have to give your custom name when dropping the index. Okay, you cannot pass the array of the column this time. Okay, just keep it in mind. So to create a foreign key, we will use the same migration file, and if you check the users table here, it has the ID field with a big int unsigned. So we need to make the same field with the same data type. Okay. Otherwise, it will create a problem when you are joining it, and also create a problem in relationship. Okay. So, so let's create a column first, unsigned big integer. Okay, and name user ID. Then we have a function foreign. Okay, and in this function we need to pass the column which we have created, user ID. Okay, and then uh, define the relationship column. So for this we have references. Okay, ID, and then we need to provide the target table on users. Okay, then you can also provide the cascading. Cascading means if the record in the user table delete, then if you want to delete the child table record also or not. Cascade. So there is a function on delete. Yeah. And just pass the cascade like this. Okay, and here first of all you need to drop foreign key. Okay, and in this let's pass like this. Okay, and then drop the column user ID. So we all set. Let's run it. PHP origin migrate, and if we run, it has migrated. And if we check show table books, then we have a foreign key constant, user ID references, and it is also created field user ID. Okay, so like this you can define the foreign key, unique key, primary key, and plain index. So that's all for the today, and I hope it will help. Okay, and if you stuck in somewhere, then you can also follow the doc and can ask the question on the comment box. You are free to ask. Okay, so thank you for